Okay, so again, factoring is all about practice. So before you do anything else, try these 4 problems on your own. So pause the video, try these on your own, and then unpause the video and see if you got the answers correct. If you want to, if you're pretty confident, you can skip to the end of the video, see if the answers are correct. If you didn't get them, then you can go back and watch the full video. Hopefully you've tried these yourself. I'll run through the answers to these through the steps. Here we have in each case of these examples 4 terms, polynomials with 4 terms. So we're going to group into the first 2 terms and the last 2 terms and factor whatever is common there. So in my first example, I have x cubed minus 3x squared in the first 2 terms. X squared is common to both of those terms. So when I take it out, I'm going to get an x minus 3 left. In the second group, which starts with a plus, I'm going to factor a positive common factor. 4 and 12 both have a 4 in them, so I'll take a 4 out and be left with x minus 3. The x minus 3 in the parentheses is common to both of these new terms, so I take it out front. So I factor it as a common factor, and I'm going to be left with the x squared for the first part and plus 4 in the second part. So in factoring by grouping, we first factor something common from the groups, and then we factor the common binomial to get our final result. Always check at the end. In this case, we have a binomial times a binomial, so we multiply out using FOIL, x cubed, outside terms plus 4x, inside terms minus 3x squared, and then finally minus 12 at the last. Those aren't in the same order as what we started with, but they are exactly the same terms, so that does check. Our multiplication does multiply back to where we started. Our next example, we have 4 terms again, so group 2 and 2. In the first group, 2x cubed minus 4x squared, we have an x squared in common. If we take that out of the first group, we have 2x, and then minus x squared divided by x squared is a minus 1, because remember, anything divided by itself is 1. The next grouping starts with a minus, so we're going to take a minus out. 10 and 5 have a 5 in common, so we'll take a negative 5 out of both of those terms. We'll get 2x, and then careful with your signs, positive 5 divided by negative 5 is minus 1. If you don't get exactly the same in the binomials, double check your signs, because it could be you took out, factored wrong, or took out a sign incorrectly. All right, so we do have the same thing here, so we can take it out, all the way out, 2x minus 1, and what we're left with is x squared minus 5. Always check by multiplying. FOIL, x squared times 2x is 2x cubed. Outside terms, minus 10x. Inside terms, minus x squared. And finally, negative 1 times negative 5 at the end gives me a positive 5. If we check that, it is exactly where we started. It's just that these 2 terms are reversed in the middle. So that checks. So again, our answers on these factoring problems are going to be a product, a multiplication. That's what we're seeing in both of those first 2 examples. Next 2, we've got 4 terms again, 10x squared minus 12xy. There are 2 things in common here. There's a 2 and an x. Let's take both of those out. We're going to have a 5x left in the first term and a minus 6y left in the second term. In the second grouping, we're starting with a positive, so we're going to take a positive common factor out. 35 and 42 have both a 7 in common, and then x is no longer common, but y is common. So we're going to take a 7y out. When we take it out of the first term, we get 5x. Out of the second term, we get negative 6y. Now, take a step back. We have the same thing here in our binomials, good for us. So we can take that all the way out. 5x minus 6y is common to everything. Take that out, and what's left would be the 2x plus 7y. So this is our product now, our factorization. That should be our answer. Check it by foiling out. 5x times 2x is 10x squared. Outside, 5x times 7y is positive 35xy. Inside, minus 12xy. And finally, negative 6y times positive 7y is minus 42y squared. Again, check where you started. We have all the same terms. Maybe they're not in the same order, but they are the same terms, so that checks. Last example. One hint I gave you, it's always important and will make the process easier if you look for an overall common term at the beginning or common factor at the beginning of a problem. And if you look at this problem, all of the terms here are even. So actually there is a common factor of 2 in every term here. So if I take it out of everything before I start the grouping process, I'm going to get x cubed minus 4, whoops, not 4, I'm taking a 2 out, so that's going to be minus 2x squared. 2 out of the 6x would be minus 3x, and 2 out of the 12 would be positive 6. So if we start there, that will actually make the rest of the factoring a little bit easier. But it does add an extra step. Let's just take our time here. Now our two groups are going to be inside our brackets here. The 2 is just going to stay all the way outside. And kind of not be touched, just stay on the outside. So we have x squared common for the first group. We take it out, we get x minus 2. In the second group, we have a 3 in common. Remember, we're starting with a minus, so take a minus 3 out. Negative 3x divided by 3 is x. Positive 6 divided by 3 is negative 2. And notice now we have x minus 2 in both of those terms in the brackets. So I can take the x minus 2 out and have an x squared minus 3 left. Now the 2 still follows down, and technically at this stage I no longer need the brackets because everything is multiplied. 2 multiplies x minus 2, which multiplies x squared minus 3. So this will be our final product. A multiplication here, a multiplication here means that everything is a product. To check this, don't have a whole lot of room, but I can probably squeeze it in. 2 would multiply into x minus 2, so I'd have 2x minus 4, and then distribute that to x squared minus 3. So I'm going to FOIL that out, so I get 2x cubed. Outside terms would be negative 6x. Inside terms would be negative 4x squared. And the last terms, negative 4 times negative 3 would be positive 12. And I close that in, but if we look at where we started up here, those are all 4 terms, just not in the same order. So that does check.